What is up guys, JSD here and welcome back to yet another video. Today we'll be covering the final two levels for Stick War 2 Empires, and I gotta say, the mod, these final two levels were crazy, and it actually took me an extra week. That's why you guys didn't see a video last week. But yeah, I know it's gonna be a little bit of a different style because, well, to be honest, when I first started, I was starting with commentary, but throughout the entire of the Gates level, I never noticed, but I actually became really silent throughout like most of the gameplay because, let's just say, it was pretty big of an experience. So yeah, today I'll be just going ahead and narrating whatever went on in my mind whilst playing these final two levels, and yeah. Hope you guys do enjoy this video. I do apologize that it's a little bit of a different style compared to the previous ones. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy nonetheless. And let's get right into the analysis. Right off the back, I knew what the Gates was about. It's basically the second last level, and we pretty much get quite a lot of units to start with. So with that in mind, we are also facing off against basically every single Chaos unit apart from Medusa herself, because she's going to be saving for this. She's basically the boss of the final level. So with that being said, I decided to go ahead and pick Chaos for my first ever, for the first playthrough on the Gates, because I thought it would be pretty cool to see Chaos versus Chaos on a level where everyone has everything. So with that being said, I've hopped into the level, and the first thing I noticed, Medusa. We have Medusa. But yes, the first thing I noticed was that we had Medusa, and we also start off with a hefty amount of units. Now, when you're playing with Chaos, there is a chance, and when you start off with this many units, there is basically a very high chance that the AI also spawns with the exact same units as you. So immediately I got a couple minus on mana because Chaos is really mana centered, and the AI immediately attacks me after basically like, what, about 30 seconds worth of downtime, which is pretty fast to say the least. Miners can barely even get a startup. So their bombers go ahead and explode, and of course they run away because they lose their population advantage. So I managed to bring my guys out for now, but although it might be quite chill for now, it ramps up heavily later on. Fast forwarding a bit, they attack again, and this time they actually do manage to get their Marokai into an attacking radius. And for those of you who don't know, Marokai's Hellfist attack is insanely powerful in this mod. I don't know if it's just that powerful in the Stick Empires code or if it's genuinely this buffed in this mod. But either way, we do manage to isolate the Marokai and actually take him out, which is actually a big W for us because the more honestly, the more Marokais we take out, the better for us. So at this point in time, I'm still going pretty defensively, getting miner hustle, getting my miners on my miner population up, just to try to get the gold and the mana that we're going to need to sustain ourselves later on. But the AI does not give us a chance and attacks again immediately after like 10 seconds of them leaving. Over here, I do manage to repel the attacks. Do also manage to snag a dead kill. Oh, actually, two dead kills from that, which is pretty solid for us. And I think I did. Yeah, I did build another. I did go ahead and build another dead because I thought it would be a good idea to do so. But the AI does not give a chance and attacks immediately again. We do manage to kill a couple crawlers, forcing them to back off for a bit, and allowing us to keep our miners out. I do put my Jug in front because I wanted him to do a little bit of tanking so that we don't have to keep running back into base every single time they attack. Over here, we do pretty well until I see the Marokai, and of course he Hellfists us our Jug, and the fact that he reaps the Jug as well basically guarantees that it dies. We do manage to kill this Marokai as well, which is actually pretty big for us, but then they just bring in another one. I think you guys can see where this is going. This was the one problem that I was worried about for this level. The Marokai spam. Yup. Marokai spam in this level was what I was worried about, because that was the problem in the previous level that I was experiencing that had me resorting to switch to order in order to be able to beat it finally. This time I didn't want it to be the exact same scenario, so I did give it a little bit more shot, thinking maybe I could somehow bring this back. But as you can see, they're already attacking the statue. I pull my miners back, The Marukai is moving up. Right here, he just used up all his spells. I have another jug. I have like 4 deads at this point, which is like detrimental to their jugs. But then they just bring in another Marukai, as you can see right there. As you can, right now, I'm just like really unsure what to do, if I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have enough mana for the Hellfist, and I unfortunately should have just reaped that Marukai because he did get that Hellfist attack off. My jug is also almost dead, and the Bomber explosion didn't help at all. They also have 3 deads and a single Eclipser. My Eclipser is gonna go down. They're gonna bring in another Marukai. Actually, they have 4 deads. I didn't notice the guy at the back there being overlapped. Over here, I bring out my miners to try do a little bit of miner tanking right here to try to get rid of the deads. I do manage to force them away from the statue, actually killing off all of their ranged units, but unfortunately not being able to nick the Marukai in the process. This right here is proving to be a big challenge already. I do go ahead and pick up another jug here because, well, I would like to have some tanks, but they just returned with 2 Marukais, with an extra Marukai really, and another jug to help them tank. Alright, this over here, as you can see, highlights another issue that we're facing with this mod. Not really, it's more of a challenge more so than an issue because, yeah, the Marukais in this mod is actually unarmored. I actually don't know if they're unarmored in general, like in the Empire's Code, or if they're unarmored in this mod. But that also makes our dead strat a little bit worse because deads do more damage to armored units, and a Marukai in this time is not an armored unit, making it a lot more weaker than it's supposed to be. And it's over here where they launch another assault. We do kill 2 of their Marukais, but look at that. They bring in 2 more full HP ones. I, in desperation, decided to kill off all their try to kill off all of their Eclipses with my Hellfist attack, but they end up nicking my Marukai in the process. And at this point in time, they bring in another jug. I only have 4 deads. They have 2 deads in the back and 3 Eclipses, and I knew that this run was pretty over to begin with. Okay, well, that was just run 1. It was a pretty good run, right? I mean, around like 7-8 minutes worth of playtime. Well, this is run 2. And instead of deads, I'm pretty sure I decided to go for Eclipsers here instead of deads. They're, overall, in my opinion, they're also better to deal with Marukais than in this mod compared to deads, because Marukais are unarmored and Eclipsers do more damage to armored units. This one I decided to go for the statue turrets, maybe just to get more defensive measures going, because the statue turret can help us hopefully to stay out a little bit longer compared to always having to rush in the base, thus allowing me to get more of an army setup versus having to always run back in the base and then just waiting for the wave to pass by. The Marukai does end up killing my miner, but it was not much of a big deal considering the statue turret is actually holding up pretty well. That was until... Yep. I just built one of those Eclipses. Eclipses are not cheap, by the way. Eclipsers... Yeah, they're not cheap, to say the least. They are not cheap whatsoever, and losing one is already a big thing. Okay, so yeah, I decided to go for both Eclipsers and statue turrets to help defend, and it did work out for the first couple of waves or so, because we do manage to push them back quite a bit. And of course, right now they're running in with their crawler army, and our statue turrets are actually doing work because they actually do quite a lot of damage. But then here poses the other problem. The deads can literally just snipe them. For a chaos unit that has a little bit of a weakness when it comes to range, in my opinion, because they do have lesser... Wait, do they have lesser range? I actually don't know. I feel like they do, but maybe I'm tripping. I don't really know. But these guys are able to just snipe down my statue turrets, and the fact that the statue turrets are also armored does not make it helpful for them at all. They just get... See, yeah, right over here, my statue turrets just get melted. And yeah, they're just bringing in their army for another assault with quite a lot of deads backing them up. And me having only 3 Eclipsers, 1 dead, 1 Marukai, and that's basically it, all I have. Eclipses also do not... It doesn't help that Eclipses don't actually do well against Jugs, considering they can literally just tank for them. And yeah, right here basically just symbolizes the end for us in this run. Yeah, this has not been a great run so far. I think you guys can see how this level is about to go. The next few attempts are pretty much the same thing. I tried different strategies. At one point I even tried saving up for a giant and not even building any new units, just trying to get that super tanky unit out there to hopefully be able to break through the lines. You're gonna see in this little montage I'm gonna play just how many attempts and how many tries and other strategies that I was trying to do for this level. Spoiler alert, they all do not end very well. At this point in time, I'd already been recording for over 35 minutes, and my hopes were not very high, to say the least, guys. My hopes were not very high. So after trying out the crawler strat, which I'm pretty sure was the last thing I ever tried to do, and completely failing at that, considering that even though it sounds like a good strat on paper, where you just bait the Marokai spells and then go for him immediately, considering you're allowing your crawlers to shred them, their range units, as much as the crawlers were basically being an eraser cat from battle cats to chaos to my team, they were basically like, they didn't exactly work out the same for me. So after yet another defeat by using the chaos strat, I decided that it was time to switch things up. No more chaos, it's time for the elementals. Now, what's different with elementals, you might ask? Well, for one, we have V, and you're gonna see why that is such a big deal later on. But for number 2, we actually do get quite a hefty start. We get a Chirog, an Infernos, a Cycloid, and just a few other elementals. And wait, we get basically every single elemental except for fire. This is the first time I'm noticing that. But yeah, basically, the good thing about elementals is that you need earth elementals in order to create minor units. And earth elementals actually count as units themselves. So that basically, I don't really know how the math works in Stick War 2, but essentially the more units if you have on the field, the less chance of the AI attacking you. Like, I'm talking about army units, not miners. Miners count as a separate one altogether. But using this pretty interesting mechanic, we are actually able to buy ourselves a little bit more time before the AI decides to go ahead and attack us. And we also got a Castle Archer at the same time to help defend, because Castle Lightnings are pretty strong as well. The Circlite Protection also actually helps our Chirog to survive a little bit, to actually survive the initial onslaught from the enemies. Besides the fact that we were playing from elementals, the rest of this first round actually played out pretty much the same thing. Our Cyclone was actually a pretty decent air unit until the dead started targeting it and I had to run into the base again. But overall, when it came to elementals, I was surviving a little bit longer, but the AI just wouldn't care. They would just continue to spam Marokais as if that's literally the only unit in their arsenal at this point. They would just keep spamming, and for some reason I brought Infernos out. I don't know what I was doing here at all. Literally putting my mage unit out front. That was not smart at all. But of course, I did do a little bit of a last-ditch effort to try to push the AI back, but with literally one Chirog, one Earth Elemental, one Air Elemental, yeah, that run was pretty dead from the start. And then came the next run. Well, what changed in this run? Well, for one, I decided to use the new unit that was given. And at first I thought, I knew he was the strongest unit in my opinion, but I didn't know just how big of a difference he would make in this one run. I'm just gonna let this one run speak for itself. Let's just say, all I'm gonna say is, do not underestimate V by any means necessary. He may only have 3 bars of health, but my goodness was he a huge game changer for this one level. Over here, I actually managed to nick the enemy Marokai and cause him to be... and actually possess the guy. So thus giving us one of their overpowered units essentially. But this right here actually caused something very, very interesting to happen. Something I was not expecting to happen, but something I was really immensely grateful for. Because I kid you not, the AI, after that one attack where I caught one of their Marokais, the AI never attacked me again. And I mean never. Not once did they even push with any of their units. Keep in mind, they were all at the center, you'll see them later. But they just didn't push. It was like, it's almost as if the AI got a little bit cautious after one of their most powerful units got stolen, and they were like, yep, we're not gonna fight an overpowered Helphist guy. But they did not even push. And I guess the only reason why for this, in my opinion, this is just a guess that I had, and that's because when you possess a unit, you essentially convert the unit to your team, but at the same time, you don't deplete that unit's population from the other team, thus causing them to be low, how do I put it, like, not able to get their population back until, of course, they either kill the unit or defeat V, which will unpossess that unit. So because of that, they actually ran low on their, they aren't able to get another unit, another Marokai namely, to actually up their population from ours, thus causing them to all just sit in the middle, just waiting for us to attack. So, well, with that honestly being such a big moment for me, I decided to go ahead and get every single upgrade. I'm talking tower spawn, passive income, the spell upgrades, the castle lightning upgrades, literally everything. We decked out in terms of our economy and our army. Yeah, I was not about to lose this with this one opportunity that we had. And well, let's just say these next few moments were literally the most intense moments for me, because I was not about to lose this after spending a really long time trying to get to this point. Now, I know you guys have heard me use the phrase bleed them dry a lot. And like, it's basically me just sitting in the middle waiting for the enemies to be just slowly whittling down their economy until they basically have nothing left. Well, usually there's always like about a miner or two or like a few army units. But this time when we went in for the final time, there was nothing. Literally nothing. Except for that one Eclipser that I unpossessed accidentally, but yeah. Literally nothing. No miners, no units apart from the castles. Nothing. It's like they completely were bled dry. Not even a single unit came out to challenge us. Not even a single unit. And with that finally out of the way, we beat the gates. Oh my goodness, this was such a stressful level to do. But yeah, I guess the only thing left for us is the one and only Medusa's castle. Well, this is the final level. I was taking no chances in this level because I knew this level could be difficult, so I figured I'd hop in with the elementals and hope maybe I can get V to start since both teams get giants to spawn on this level. Unfortunately not, but we do get a bunch of... we pretty much get the exact same loadout in exchange for with the fire and air elementals just doing a swap as well as having a treacher this time around. As predicted, the Chaos Empire, the AI themselves have their own giant, as well as their own Marokai and Eclipser, you name it, they have the entire thing. They have an entire decked out strat going, but either way, this time we were not running in and I did manage to build a V right off the back. So I immediately go for I immediately go on the offensive, managing to possess the giant, forcing the AI to actually not retreat. I thought they were going to retreat, but no. But we did actually freeze the Marokai, basically sealing its fate, and also blocking any of the dead's range, the range units from hitting the Marokai. For some reason, I accidentally unfreeze the Marokai there to get another V, but it's okay since he was pretty low in HP. So from here on out, we actually go in pretty hard. I don't know what I was doing with V here. I was just like pushing him into the field. Maybe I thought maybe like there was like a strong unit that was about to pop up. I dropped the Treacher down to a place where they would auto attack, and I also did the what was that called? Voltalis spell, which basically one-shots every single miner in the battlefield right there. Honestly speaking, we were off to an amazing start. We had so many elementals saved up, and we were honestly on deck. And that was when I also looked up to the cash counter and I realized that we had infinite mana and infinite gold. No matter what we bought, nothing was going down. Yeah, this was where that special change that was referred to in the mod description was talking about. Here we go. So instead of just Medusa coming out at the base's halfway point, a giant Medusa, a giant V, and a giant Magi kill of all things have been spawned. Yup, we have to deal with 3 bosses instead of 1. This was about to be the ultimate challenge right here. And yes, their V is fully programmable, not to mention the guy can literally teleport while he's possessing a unit. What? Okay, but either way, I was not backing down. I immediately go for Medusa, but V jumps in, immediately starting his karate kicking. He starts karate kicking all my Charogs, basically doing so much damage to the point where it like 5 taps them, I think. Yeah, he's going crazy. That V is honestly, in my opinion, the strongest boss unit out of the 3 that was released. Medusa also seems to have a faster spell cooldown time. And the Magi kill also does have, well, more damage on all his spells. This was about to be a challenge. I wasn't too sure what to do here because there was 3 bosses. They were hammering away at my statue. I thought maybe we could just do a little bit of tanking, a little bit, get some Vs. I tried possessing the giant Magi kill to no avail, but it was still worth a try to see if they had that. Unfortunately, Medusa has already targeted my statue. And yeah, well, that's the first run over and dealt with. But at least now we know, at least now I knew what we were dealing with. So in this second attempt, I was not gonna waste any time. Skipping ahead to the point where we actually, the early game pretty much went about the same. I go ahead, build a V, possess the giant, the chaos units fall apart. Now, this is the part where we just completely and utterly destroy their economy. This is where I start doing things a little bit differently. So instead of trying to go for different variations of units, I push all of the units, including that possessed giant, all the way back to the base right now. Of course, later I will. Spoiler alert: I do actually get rid of the giant because I couldn't bring him into the second phase of the fight without the V possessing him dying. Also, here's also another quick clip right here. It's the first time I actually used the Scorch ability, which I thought was really cool to use. It basically one-shots every single miner. Pretty underrated. Is it underrated? I don't know, but it's a pretty fire ability nonetheless. Yeah, as you can see, I quickly ungarrisoned the giant because I knew I couldn't bring him into the next phase of the fight. But basically, the Chaos Empire has just lost at this point all of their base resources, and now it's all that's left is the triple boss fight that we have to do. Moving forward, I also, because we have infinite resources, I figured why not we go ahead and grab every single upgrade whilst we can. I do actually send the Vs back into the base to what's the word called? I do actually send the Vs back into the base to so that they won't get killed when the halftime comes in. So that we have more units to work with at the start rather than just the reinforcements that they give us. And I was also planning to let the tower spawn to do the most work on the statue. At this point of time, I also decided to go ahead and sacrifice the miners, since the miners are basically, there's really no use for the miners since we are always capped at 9,000 gold and mana, and no matter what we do, won't change that. So the miners go ahead, they sacrifice themselves. We actually take out the giants so that we don't have any chaos units to deal with. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this first half of the fight. I go ahead and start building more elementals because my plan was to just spam Vs because Vs can basically spam more V clones and basically have a way larger army than what we normally have. So I start garrisoning all my main elemental units, just trying to make sure that just trying to make sure that they all don't get caught in the crossfire. And here we go, round 2 on the boss battle. Now, one thing I didn't consider was the fact that V actually immediately ends up possessing my giant Chirog. But we do actually get all of the reinforcements, meaning we have above the population limit, as you can see there, 98 instead of the usual 80. And also, one more thing that happened in this fight was that the V actually got glitched. After possessing that possessed Chirog, I think the possessed Chirog was still halfway through attacking the statue, so it kind of glitched out in a way. I mean, I wasn't complaining. I was chilling with it. But yeah, what we did first was we went straight for the Magi kill, because the Magi kill, in my opinion, was the stronger damage dealer of the two. While Medusa only really has her Stone Face spell, which will insta kill a unit, the Magi kill does have a lot more AoE. We do kill the Magi kill and we go for Medusa next. Safe to say, the least, both of them did not stand a chance with all the units that we had, but we did actually lose quite a bit. As you can see, we dropped down from 98 all the way to 76. I do put my guys back in the base to heal them up from the poison damage they could have taken throughout the Medusa fight, and I actually do leave them in here for a bit, considering the V is actually stuck at the moment at their base. So I leave them here for a bit, and eventually once they're ready, I send them out to go ahead and attack. The Treacher, I immediately put him on summoning duty at the base just in case we needed any base defense. I ended up getting a couple more Chirogs to help with the onslaught as well. And by this point in time, I actually V has also summoned his clones. He's also coming in. He's made a small blunder by teleporting right into my troop line. And where'd he go? Oh, he teleported back. Yeah, okay. I also did try to attack the statue, but then I quickly realized the statue is invulnerable, so meaning we had to take out this V. But thankfully, because it's only one unit, despite being the strongest of the 3 units in my opinion, and being a complete master of all 3 abilities, he was no match, because he was no match for essentially all of my units basically targeting him at once. And with that concludes the final level of the Stick War 2 Empires mod against Medusa. I thought that name was really funny when I saw it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming with me on this journey throughout this series. I know that this final video was probably not what you guys expected, but yeah, as I said, I was pretty silent for most of the part whilst playing. I did not notice it until I looked through the video again. I was like, yo, I did not talk at all in this video. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm gonna go ahead and put up the screenshot of all of the people involved in developing this mod. Thank you guys so much for developing this amazing mod. That final level was honestly one of the most interesting levels I played, and I can really see that level being used as like with different strategies and stuff being thrown into that level just for the fun of it, because we have infinite resources. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I don't know what the next video is gonna be, but we'll see. And yeah, wow, this was amazing mod, an amazing mod, honestly. Really appreciate all the hard work. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.